Good Sunday. It is the 9th of March 2025. Going to be a nice day. Highs in the upper 50s, but breezy conditions this afternoon. Risk of fire is going to be elevated, so you just need to not burn anything this afternoon. Enjoy the nice day, though. Although those breezy conditions, if you got a kite, go fly it. That could be a fun day. Here we are. We are still east of this high, so it was cold overnight. But today, this high is going to slip a little bit east. And we're going to start getting a return flow, southerly flow, so the temperatures are going to get jacked up here on Monday into the 60s, on Tuesday into the 70s. Now, this high to the north and the low to our south is going to squeeze a little bit and pull our winds off the ocean. You don't want that to happen because what happens here, if you look at the wind flow, around a high pressure system, it's flowing this way. And around a low pressure system, it's flowing this way. And the ocean is still really cold, so you're getting that easterly fetch. So by Wednesday, we're going to start seeing things that aren't quite as exciting for us. So as we move this forward, you're going to see we'll still be pretty warm, definitely on Tuesday, probably the 70s. Then this low kind of bombs out to the south. You get the high, like I said, pushing colder air, plus this low pressure system bringing cool air off the ocean. Now, it's not super cold air, but it's cold enough to knock our temperatures down, especially on Wednesday as the side of the north gets up here. It's going to shoot cold air east of the mountains. Sorry, it's going to mess up my my video here. East of the mountains, and that's going to cool us down for sure. So, yeah, even though it's going to be a nice week, we get a little bit of cold air damming or easterly winds off the ocean, and it knocks our temperatures a bit down on Wednesday. By Thursday, that high moves a little further east, but we still see the cold air damming. So what I mean by that is, I've tried to say this before, is this high, again, is pushing colder air down, and it's filtering east of the mountains. And you can see that. The way you see that in the system is it's got these isobars, and they're sagging like this. That is cold air going down and getting trapped east of the mountains. So Thursday, not as warm as well. We'll have to see just how warm it gets. The temperatures have been slowly decreasing on the forecast, if you look at the forecast here. But then, as we head towards the weekend, this is a monster low here in Colorado. This is going to be a wind bag for a lot of the nation. If you've got flight plans, I know this is spring break for a lot of people, so they're moving and flying back and forth. You need to start preparing now, because I think we're going to have flight delays and stuff next weekend all across the nation. This is a crazy low pressure. And if you look, well, I messed up the timing here. So as we go further out, what's happening? That low is going to form, and it's going to bomb out very low, 969 millibars. There's a blizzard here in the high plains, North Dakota, South Dakota. And it's just going to be a chilly pour of cold air. Now, because of that, you get strong southerly winds here. So strong, as a matter of fact, I wonder if we're going to have wind issues next weekend. Plus, it does a severe threat here along the Gulf Coast. This is going to bring up moisture and humidity, so we're going to actually start feeling warmer and humid by next Saturday. And then on the GFS here, another wave kind of forms along this area. This is going to be severe weather for the southern plains, and then SPC has already highlighted that as well. That front's going to come east and gets re-energized here. Look at the winds, the tight isobars here. I said we're going to have a wind event if nothing else. This looks like a strong line of severe weather going to come through our area. So that could drop quite a bit of rain in a short period of time. That's next Sunday to Monday. We're going to have to see how this comes together, because it'll be a very windy second half of the weekend and a Monday potential severe threat. So we'll have to see how this comes together. It cools us down for a day or so, and then you see the warm air is starting to try to push back in here as the high moves off, and we get southwesterly winds. This here, though, is a little bit of a question mark as far as whether or not we start to move towards cooler air towards the second part of the month. I don't know for sure. But, there are signals that here comes the high and the colder air setting up. You start to see a ridge getting pushed up here on the west coast. And when you get ridging this way, you get troughing this way. And so this brings the cold air down from Canada. And so by the end of the, or later part of the month, we may cool off quite a bit. We'll have to see. I'm hopeful that it doesn't come about and be too cold. But, this is what's happening, and there's cool air around, and yeah, the models start to go a little crazy about where we're going to get rain. And so we need the rain. And then this looks like it could be brief. And as we head into the end of the month, maybe we will warm back up before April. We'll have to see. But anyway, that's kind of hard, and it's really far out there. So really quickly, the European. I like to show both models just to show you that it's not just one model showing this. But here we are as we move into Wednesday. Again, that is a cooler look to us. With the high sliding to the east, it's going to push the cold air off the ocean. You can see that with the sagging lines or the curved lines back there. So it is consistent. Then we're watching this big low pressure. Look at that. It's still low, maybe not quite as powerful as the GFS. Still a strong southerly flow with wind, and yes, there's a severe threat, and that is next Sunday. So again, it's Sunday, Monday. We're going to watch for the severe thunderstorm threat. It is a week away, and then after it, of course, we're going to cool down for a day or so, and then warm up some, and want to watch again towards the end of the month if we cool off more, but it's hard to say at this point. Anyway, that is your long outlook for this week. The thing is, this week's kind of boring. Pretty much dry. It'll be cool down a little bit on Wednesday because of the easterly flow, which kind of messed up our 70s for that time period. And then next weekend we watch as the winds and then potential severe weather. Have a good one.